What's going on, yo? Welcome back to Last Week in the NBA. I know we don't all have all the time in the world to watch every single NBA game, so here's your recap of everything that happened in the NBA last week. And you know where that brings us, y'all, right back here to the Last Week in the NBA tracker. You guys know I love to build these little Excel sheets and everything. So, starting off with the top performers of last week, it was an interesting week of basketball, I feel like, across the association. RJ Barrett, funny enough, was the leader in the points per game category this last week. 2 games played. He was actually shooting the ball well. Overall, RJ Barrett hasn't been like that great from 3 this season. He's mostly just been like a slasher. The scoring and the defense have been really, really good out of him. The Toronto Raptors, while their record isn't actually very good, they just haven't been all healthy at the same times, right? Quickly's been down, Barnes has been down, Barrett's been down, right? So they just haven't had anybody all on the court together. They don't really have much of a bench, but guys like Grady Dick and stuff are getting a lot better. I want to take a quick look at Grady Dick for this season. You're up to 18 points a game with him. He's taking advantage of guys being down. Obviously, the three-point shot and the field goal percentage are still rough, but what do I always say? I'm not going to judge a second-year player's efficiency like that until the end of their second year. I feel this way about all young players. I just think the development and time that it takes you a little bit to start realizing the patterns and start putting things together. So by the end of the second season, I hope we'll see Grady Dick kind of on an upward trend by the end. So that's what I'm hoping for. But RJ Barrett, like I said, overall this season hasn't been the most efficient from the 3 or anything, but slashing defense, a little bit of playmaking and stuff here and there, actually been pretty solid, so pretty happy with him. But the first guy that I really want to shout out this week is Cameron Johnson. Cameron Johnson, 31 points per game across 3 games this week, 3.7 assists and rebounds, shot the ball 60% from 3, 60% from the field. He was a +4 for the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets have been very competitive this season. I mean, we can look at Cameron Johnson across just like this season in general, and I mean, you got 19 points per game, 4 rebounds, he's shooting the shit out of the basketball. That's awesome, right? Cameron Johnson's been really, really good. So have like some other guys on the Nets. Dennis Schroeder, we all know, is a very, very good basketball player, getting 17 points per game out of him, 40% from 3. Both of these guys could be great trade candidates. I don't know. The Nets have to put themselves in a position to be like, hey, where are guys actually gonna be like useful next year? Because they're probably gonna get a pretty top draft pick, I presume, at least by the time they start selling people, right? So who do you want on the team next year around whatever young stud that you get, right? Because presumably they want to get one of the top 3 or 4 guys. They all project to be very, very good. So who else do you want on the team? You don't want a bare bones team to throw these guys onto, otherwise you run into problems. Because Cameron Johnson, he can put the ball on the floor a little bit. He can shoot, obviously. He's a strong defender. He's a smart basketball player. Like, I don't know. I think he's a really, really good player. He's had a really good season. He's capitalized on opportunities. I am curious though, like, how's Nick Claxton been up to this point? Like, it seems like they're still like working him up a little bit. He was kind of on a bit of a minutes restriction and everything due to some injuries and stuff over the offseason, but I feel like he still hasn't had much of an impact. Like, I haven't really noticed him in the box scores at all at this point. So I don't know if there's any Nets fans that are watching the Nets a little bit closer or something like that. Let me know what you've been thinking of Nick Claxton up to this point. But anyway, Cam Johnson was the first one that I kind of wanted to point out, at least for this week. All right, second guy we're going to point out this week is Franz Wagner. I believe this is the second time in this series where we've pointed out Franz here. I want to give a lot of credit to him and the Magic, man, because like the Magic they're high up in the standings right now, right? They were playing kind of like some buns teams for a while, but Paolo's been down at the end of the day. Teams know they can key in on Franz if they want to, right? They still aren't sending like a ton of doubles or anything at him or any type of weird defenses. There was one time where they double teamed him in like the post in like the Pistons game or something like that, and that was kind of interesting. But the actual like the distributing of the ball and just like being the primary ball handler and everything, especially when like Suggs went down the other day, it's been awesome to see out of Franz Wagner. Other guys we want to highlight from the Orlando Magic, like Anthony Black has been pretty solid for them overall. Like he's going out there and he's contributing at a pretty decent level for the most part. I would love to see them get Jet Howard on the court a little bit more. This is a guy you need to focus on developing if you're the Orlando Magic. The size, the shooting, the mobility, and everything, it just feels like this is another opportunity at like what Cam Reddish should have been in the NBA. I know the handles are still like a little bit bleh at this point in time, but like, I don't know, I need to see Jet Howard on the court a little bit more, especially with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope not playing very well. This would be a great team to throw a Dennis Schroeder on. I don't know, I just think things could be a lot better, but I'm still a little bit confused with Franz Wagner. If I could have one like critique of his game right now, he like stands too wide when he shoots his 3 ball. I'm sure I've got like highlights or something playing right here or something right now. He gets way too wide, so you can't actually like attack off of like pump fakes and things like that. No, It's a really small thing that's bothered me for a little bit about his game for a little bit. But regardless, Franz is hooping right now. Like, we love to see the development in his game and everything. We're getting the three-point percentage up, at least. Like, the three-point shot's still a concern, but at least we're back up to, like, league average right now, right? So we'll take that, right? When Paolo comes back, I'll be curious to see how they make everything fit together. So I wonder how much longer until Paolo comes back. Other guys to talk about briefly this week before I go into my final kind of highlight guy, Brandon Miller obviously had a really good week. Brandon Miller's just been like so hot and cold, and that's fine, right? He's a young guy trying to figure himself out, but at the end of the day, you've got a second-year guy that's getting you 20 points a game. He's shooting fine from three. He's got to figure out how to get to the rim still a little bit better, but overall, Brandon Miller getting a lot better. We love to see it. De'Aaron Fox still continues to be a really impactful player for the Sacramento Kings. That's awesome to see. I know that there's such a power struggle in the West that it can be hard to kind of navigate through it all, but you know, is what it is. Anthony Edwards is doing his best. Like, I'm trying to put the team on my back situation right here, being a 23-year-old leader. Julius Randle, like, just not having, like, any court awareness at times for them, and him and Gobert kind of going at it. Ant trying to settle the beef between them. It was a whole thing this week. They, like, lost a game to, who was it? Was it Toronto? I can't even remember who it was, but Gobert basically had some guy like pinned down under the hoop. Randall, because he has no court awareness or anything, is just trying to ISO people again at the top of the key. It was nonsense. Gobert's pouting because that's what he does, and yeah, Edwards trying to do what he can, man, to keep this team together. Also, Victor Wembanyama, just really quickly before I go into the last guy, solid week overall, but again, taking like 13 three-pointers, like, and I'm not exaggerating this. He's taking like 13 three-pointers in like games right now. And I don't think it's I don't think it's an accident is what I'm trying to say. Like, something is going on within the Spurs to where they're saying, just get the shots up, just get the shots up, just get the shots up. And I don't get it. Like, can we just let Wemby go be dominant? I don't understand. It's weird to me. But yeah, the last guy that I want to highlight for this week is Jalen Williams, J-Dub over here. That's a gnarly picture. I want to show Jalen Williams' stats for this entire season. Having what I think is an all-star level season, playing next to Shea. 22 points per game, 5 assists, 6, almost 7 rebounds, 2.2 steals. You'll see him here as one of the steals leaders in the NBA. He's getting a block a game. He's efficient. Positive, plus, minus. This guy can really do it all. Like, you can push him to whatever spot in the court and he can hit shots from it. It's incredible. They are throwing all sorts of defenses at this guy when he's on the floor, and he is just maneuvering through them. In transition, that's where he gets really scary, because he's just going in transition. He can finish from any angle. I love Jalen Williams, man. It has been such a pleasure to watch him play, and the energy he plays with the defense. Like, he does such a good job of collapsing on people, getting hands on ball, and just going after that. I don't know. I think he's been really, really good for this Thunder team. I think he's going to warrant some all-star votes this season, and he should. I think he's one of the better players we have in basketball at this point. It's really, really awesome to see. It was awesome to see them have a center out on the court this year, too, or finally in Isaiah Hartenstein. Let's pull up Hart right here. One game so far, 13 points, 14 rebounds. Love to see it. Plus 16 on the season through one game. So shout out to Hartenstein, man. Awesome stuff. The Thunder have been really, really good. Y'all should be really, really excited about them. Moving on throughout the association, if you look at like the assists per game and everything, obviously DeJounte Murray's still stuck here. No, maybe I'll have to put like a games requirement on these at some point. But Trae Young still doing it. Jokic still doing just about everything for this team that he can. His turnovers are a little bit high right now, which is somewhat of a concern. I don't actually have it listed here, but overall, Jokic, he's MVP this season, right? There's kind of no question about that. Is Jokic up on here? I don't even like see him. Okay, yeah, no, he is on the list. We see Jokic in a couple places on this list. We see him in number 2 in assists, number 2 in rebounds, and number 4 in 3-point percentage. There is a qualifier on here. You have to have played in at least 5 games. You need to take at least 1 3 per game to qualify for my list here. But number 4 on the list for all that. Look at this, shooting 56% from 3. Jokic is MVP. Not even close. We just got to find some more dudes to put on this team. They handed it to the Lakers this last week. Or I was watching that game last night. I'm recording this on Sunday. For those of you that don't know, I do like a Sunday to Saturday and clump everything into one from there. But man, they were giving him the business in that one. Russ looked good in this one. Let's check on Russell Westbrook, right? Hasn't the 3-point shot not been like horrible? Yeah, no, we got a league average 3-point shot. The field goal percentage is doo-doo. But regardless, like Russell Westbrook, I think overall has been pretty much a positive for this team, even though he's a -5 on the season. So quite literally he's a negative, but I don't know. I think Russell Westbrook's good for this team overall. At least I like to think so. Also, can we shout out Michael Porter Jr. for all those people that always want to trade Michael Porter Jr., giving you 19 points a game, 7 rebounds, 40% here, 50% here. Just, I don't want to see any more Michael Porter Jr. trades. Keep them away. This is a very good basketball player. He's good defensively too, and you guys will be like, what? I see him get beat off the dribble all the time. You can be really good at defense outside of like on-ball defense. He's really good at like everything but on-ball defense. So just relax, okay? Just relax. You're not going to find much better than this guy. So just relax. Going over to rebounds and stuff, obviously Hartenstein, just because he hasn't played many games yet, but Sabonis, Towns continues to be a real dominant force for the New York Knicks. He did finally have a bad game. The Knicks lost to like the Blazers or the Raptors or somebody like that. They lost to a bad team the other day because Towns went like 1 for 9 from 3. And like despite all that, he's still shooting 45% at this point. Like basically that's what has to happen for the Knicks to lose, is if he goes like 1 for 9 in a game. So is what it is. Going to the steals, Dyson Daniels still just running away with this one. Shout out CJ McCollum on here. We talked about Jalen Williams. Tari Eason is a conversation that I want to have at some point. Now, Tari Eason, still not the best shooter in the world, but this guy's like a killer in terms of like plus minus in games for the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets have 2 players coming off their bench. Their 6th and 7th man are Amen Thompson and Tari Eason, right? Both of these guys debatably should be starting over the guys that start over them, and I'm talking about Fred VanVleet here, who's having a rougher season. Like, I wouldn't say it's like horrible. I know the stats like say one thing, but like, I don't know. I'd like to believe it's going to go back up. But the other one is Jabari Smith Jr. So at what point do we start to make some decisions and say that like Amen and Tari are more so the future? Let's get them a few more minutes. Jabari's been like solid defensively at the end of the day, but offensively he still can't quite seem to figure it out, which is kind of odd to me because he's a smart basketball player, but I'd sure like to find a way to get Amen Thompson back on the court and everything. It's like when you watch him, like, and he's bringing the ball, or like someone's bringing the ball up the court, and you have your 6'7" like point guard pressing him full court and just ripping him, and then going and jamming on him. I don't know. He just seems like he understands the game so well. He made a phenomenal play off of Şengün the other day, where Şengün was like posting. He's trying to get something. He can't go anywhere. Amen Thompson flashed, and then he saw he couldn't get the ball. He cut back out and then flashed again, and Şengün hit him for a pass, and he went and laid it up. It was a close game. I think it was yesterday. When that happened. But no, like Amen Thompson, he's awesome. Like Tari Eason has flaws in his game, but the effort is awesome. The rebounding is there. He plays good defense. So I'd like to find a way to get him on the court a little bit more. I'd like to see it. I feel like the young guys got to start to develop and stuff like that. And that's the way we can do it. If we're looking at blocks, obviously Hartenstein's up there just right now. Otherwise, it's Wemby, right? Chet, Walker Kessler, the guys you expect to see here. Robert Williams leading in field goal percentage right now with Jalen Duren, not far behind the 2 Mavericks players and Jackson Hayes. Finally, 3-point percentage, Cam Reddish is shooting the shit out of the basketball. Apparently, JJ Redick has really been getting it out of him. I'd still like to see him have some ball handling opportunities at times, just because I've been on the other end of Cam Reddish personally, and I think he's got enough of that in his game, but you know, it's getting to that point where it's like, okay, how much are we really going to get out of him? But hey, good season. Larry Nance Jr. still up there. Josh Green in his limited time with like the Charlotte Hornets at this point, with Grant Williams going down. I saw it today. I'm curious to see if we'll get more minutes out of him. Obviously, it opens up to John Salon a little bit. Then Ty Jerome having a really good season. So shout out to them, y'all. Let's move over to the news and highlights. First one we got here, y'all, is a game winner. There's so many of these. What do we got? We got a tie game. Where are we going? Get off me. Step back. Ugh! Julius Randle with what was called like a travel, and not at the part where you think it was a travel. Let's skip forward a little bit. Can we see the replay? Nope, we can't see the replay. I'll show y'all where the travel was. It was right here, so watch. Stop. He travels right here. Doesn't put the ball on the floor. Definitely traveled. Then he goes, hits a clean step back there. Bottoms. And look, Julius Randle, been a little bit questionable this year with like his play style and everything. They can't seem to figure out how to get him and Gobert together and stuff. But regardless, cool shot. Next thing I want to talk about is Inside the NBA is back. So we were all pretty nervous that like we were going to lose Inside the NBA and everything. Get off of here, daily news. Whatever, I'll just keep it on here. But yeah, we all thought we were going to lose Inside the NBA. There was a part of me that's like, there's got to be a way they get this done, right? And they ended up getting it done. So apparently it's just going to be a part of ESPN now or something like that. We're not sure like if everybody's coming back yet, right? Because I don't think Shaq has like signed up for it or something like that. But I'd like to hope that we're going to keep Inside the NBA around, man, because I think think we all know it's like one of the only good like actual like halftime shows and things like that we have in sports. I have countless laughs off of it, and I just want to see Charles Barkley talk about San Antonio women some more. That's honestly all I want. I think it's hilarious, but you know, is what it is what it is. Next thing, let's talk about James Harden really quick. I'm going to pull him up on the screen here. James Harden, while ironically not shooting well from three this season, has become the second all-time three-point shooter as of this week. He passed Ray Allen, and I mean, obviously guys are just taking more threes now, right? I mean, James Harden's overall like career percentage probably isn't as good as Ray Allen's, but he's made the threes, man. James Harden's had an incredible career up to this point. This is something that we should applaud. It's absolutely awesome. So we want to give a shout out to James Harden, man. That's an incredible accomplishment. All right, y'all, we got another close game to look at here. We got Milwaukee down one. Fred's trying to make it happen himself with Giannis on him. But give me those! Oh, where we going, Giannis? Where we going? You already know who you got to give the ball to. You give it to Lillard, because Lillard is that man. Ultimate closer. What are we doing? What are we doing? We got a good defender on us. We're going. Spin move. Slip around him. Up and under! Dame time. Amazing. Oh my God. Damian Lillard has been awesome this season with Giannis. If you look at the actual percentages, has Dame been like absurd? No, not necessarily, but he's got to do a lot, man. Dude's got to do. Look at that. That's absurd. No way. And then Dame. What we doing? Get by? Give me those. Crazy. Going to the NBA Cup, y'all. What do we got here? Craig Porter going to the hoop, makes a bad decision. Good play by Jared Allen. You guys will see where this is going in just a second. We got a close game here at the end of the third. Jason Tatum's got to get a shot up. Got Georges Niang, best body in the NBA, in front of him. Cross, give me those. He goes flying. We feel the quake. Bottoms. Yeah, get him the fuck out of here is what he's saying. Ooh, that's a nice suit by KP. That's a nice suit. Can I see that one more time, pretty please? Let me see this. Georges Niang gets one right there, goes down. He's like, let me just take my time with this. Bottoms. I don't know why it kind of made me happy to see Georges Niang go down. Sometimes he's just a little annoying, but that's Jason Tatum, man. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's tough. All right, y'all, next bit of news to talk about. The Cleveland Cavaliers finally lost a game this week. They ended up losing in the Cup to the Boston Celtics. It's going to happen, right? They were going to lose eventually. The Celtics are a really good basketball team, right? It's all you can do. But we want to hand it off to them. They've had an incredible run so far this year. I mean, just taking a look at the guys that are really doing it. Darius Garland's having a phenomenal season. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell, their best player, having a great season. Evan Mobley, by the grace of Kenny Atkinson, has unlocked him finally. It's awesome to see. And then Jared Allen, obviously another player that's had a lot of success for them this year. Cavs are going to be really, really good. I'll be curious to see what they're doing at like the deadline and stuff like that. Do they try to add some more wings to the team or something like that? Maybe another big man. It probably wouldn't be the worst thing for them to add another reserve big to the team or something, but man, overall, they've been incredible this season. Russell Westbrook. We already had Westbrook up on the screen once today. Let's bring him back up. Had his 200th career triple-double. Y'all remember, I was in high school when Westbrook was like really starting the whole like triple-double thing or whatever, and we all thought nobody could ever pass Oscar Robertson's thing, and now everybody gets triple-doubles like all the time. It feels like, I don't want to like diminish how hard it is to actually do that, but like when we see Jokic literally just like averaging it at this point, I mean, yeah, because what is Jokic averaging? 30 points, 11 to 14. That's just, I can't stress enough how crazy that is. It's just like Russ was the one that kind of started it all, so we want to give him some props. 200 career triple doubles. It feels like Luka Doncic is going to break that by the time or before he's even like 27. How old is Luka at this point? I don't even know, but it feels like Luka is going to catch him before anybody even knows. But we want to give hats off to Westbrook. It was a phenomenal thing to see. Next thing I want to talk about: LaMelo Ball benched versus the Brooklyn Nets. Let's pull up LaMelo here because he appears just about everywhere on this sheet, right? He's going to be in the points per game leader, right? We look at the overall year stats, about 7 assists a game, 4 rebounds. It's awesome. The efficiency's a little bit blegs because he's trying to carry the team a little bit, but had a phenomenal season overall, right? Like LaMelo, awesome season overall. What I think is really interesting was he got benched in this Nets game late. He didn't see him for like the entire fourth quarter, and they actually ended up losing to the Brooklyn Nets. And I saw a lot of Hornets fans pretty upset about this. They're like, what are we doing, coach? We got to have him out there. I want to tell you, Hornets fans, this is actually some of the best I've seen out of your franchise in a second. I'm going to tell you why. So I think there's an important thing when establishing like a winning culture and everything in a place that has had poor culture for a long time. What we're seeing from Coach Charles Lee is we're seeing a guy that's holding people accountable, and we don't know what LaMelo did, right? There is something, I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe someone's reported on it since then, I don't know. But LaMelo did something where he did not live up to the standards of the team, and the coach benched him. He said, nope, if you don't live up to the standards, here's the consequences. When you lay out clear consequences for your players, that's when you start to gain respect. Everybody knows what the expectations are, and maybe it was even something small that he did, but he's like, hey, I got to show everybody that even the best player does it, because we all know LaMelo Ball can be a little immature at times, right, and is a bit of a wonky personality, and so seeing that happen, honestly, I'm like, okay, you guys have the right person in the driver's seat right now. I truly think that you do. I think the owners, the GMs, and the coach all probably have to be aligned on stuff like this, and I'm hoping that this means brighter days for the Charlotte Hornets going forward. I know it hasn't been a beautiful year for you guys. It wasn't going to be a beautiful year regardless, but I like to think that you guys are heading in the right direction. You got an interesting young core of people. Grant Williams just went down. That's unfortunate, but that's an opportunity for somebody else that might be more long-term on the team, so I think it's a good thing overall, and I just wanted to bring that up because I think it's important to realize that you have to set those standards for people, and one game against the Brooklyn Nets doesn't matter right now because you guys aren't winning a championship right now anyway. Set the standard, get the right guys in place, right, and start building the right way. So good for them. We got another highlight, y'all. I don't know how I feel about these Lakers uniforms, but, is what it is. LeBron going in at damn near 40 years old, dunking all over Jonathan Isaac. Oh, my goodness. It's just, that's me right there. I'm Rui Hachimura. Just like, I don't even know what to say about this. It's just, Jonathan Isaac's just like, fuck. God damn it. Look at him looking back at him, too. Just, oh, man. Oh, man, no. See, it's crazy. Like, he's too old to be doing this. This is me right here. That's me, and I'm the really poorly dressed person on the sideline that's just going crazy for stuff like this. I love it. I'm skipping one thing on the list because we kind of already talked about it, and we're highlighting Franz Wagner a little bit more. 2 missed free throws by the Lakers. Why is the quality so bad? What is going on here? Like, I don't understand. I don't know why we can't get better quality, but we know it's Franz Wagner. Here we go. Where are we going, Franz? Down 2. He's like, no, we're not taking anything but a 3! No shot. That is a tough shot. That is a tough shot. If I can break down the film just a little bit, his feet actually a good distance apart on that one, so we'll take it. We'll take it. Shout out Franz Wagner, man. That shit's amazing. Let me see him flex a little bit too, because he plays with good energy. Let me see him play with some good energy. Yeah, he's like, that's what I fucking do. Yup, that's what I'm talking about. I love the Wagners, man. I love it. Last couple of things to talk about here. LaMelo Ball had a 50-point game, and they lost. So, yeah, that's the Charlotte Hornets season at this point. I'm just going to move right past that. We got to give credit to 50 points when it happens, right? I think it's happened 5 times already this year, but still got to give it credit. Last thing I want to talk about, not necessarily in chronological order like the rest of these, but the new All-Star Game format rumor. I think that's a really interesting thing to talk about here. If we can just go to NBA All-Star Game. We're seeing this kind of pickup style format being brought up right here, and I want to kind of explain it. So what they're kind of thinking with this is they want to do something where they're like, hey, there's a couple teams of like, what do they have here? Is it 8? Yeah, so basically like 3 teams of 8 will be made out of the all-star teams, right? That makes some sense. There's normally like 2 teams of 12, so you take the 8 players divided by 3, the 24, you get in total, you guys get it, right? So the all-stars are broken up into 3 teams, and then the winner of like the Rising Stars game, which is also like kind of like a 3-on-3 or something like that, or it's kind of a similar format where they bring up like the G League team and then 3 of the Rising Stars teams play. The winner of that gets thrown into the all-star like tournament, and basically they're going to be playing the 40 games in like a single elimination tournament, and then like the final game, I think they play to like 16 or something like that. Yeah, it's 40 points. The final matchup is to 25 points. I love this. I love that there's not like a clock with it, that they're just going to like a set score. I know this hasn't been made like official yet. At least I don't think so, but I think this is a phenomenal idea. I think this is way better than just letting them kind of just jog around the court and play, because we still just weren't seeing the energy that we wanted to out of the All-Star games. But I think this could be really, really good. Like, I truly do. I think this could be an awesome thing for the NBA. Like, I'd want to see this. Like, think about how cool it would be if the Rising Stars won the game somehow. Wouldn't that be sick? What if it was the G League team somehow? Wouldn't that be awesome? I don't know. I just think that would be crazy. I don't know how, like, some of the other things would have to work with this, but I think it'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, Curry and, like, Inescu going at each other again, that'd be a lot of fun. I don't know. I just like that the NBA is always trying to innovate things, adding the cup, adding the play-in games, changing up the All-Star and stuff. I don't know. I think it's better. I think they're going in the right direction. I think they're thinking things through and actually putting good solutions out there. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think down in the comments below. By the way, like, subscribe, and comment. I respond to every single comment to my YouTube channel, and I will continue to do so. Go join the Discord as well. We're always chatting on there. Links is in the description to go join that. Let's talk about the rookies. Alrighty, the rookie report. I added one other thing so that we could look at other rookies during this thing. But basically, for those of you that aren't familiar, we did the little study or whatever and found that the most likely thing to determine rookie of the year is the points per game. So that's how it's sorted right now. Jared McCain running away with it, right? Jared McCain is playing his butt off. We did a whole film breakdown on him last week. We saw that there's some weaknesses, right? But at the end of the day, dude's getting shots up. He's being confident. He's putting this Philly on his back as much as he can, right? So we want to give a lot of credit to him. He's clear front runner right now. But Jalen Wells, man, Jalen Wells is kind of hooping. He played against my Bulls last night. He had like 30 points in that one. Shooting the three ball well, scoring pretty well, playing solid defense. Like, in the rest of the field goal percentage is starting to go up a little bit. So it's like, okay, this kid's starting to put it together. I mean, he's been starting a lot this season on a team that needs wings. He's taking his opportunities, running with it, right? So I want to give him a lot of credit. He's been fun to watch. Reese Shea, he's kind of getting worse, in my opinion. I'm not going to lie. And look, young guy. I'm still excited about Reese Shea. I think he's still a long-term starter in the NBA. I don't see a ton of star potential, but he's just been making like some dumbass passes recently that, like, I don't know what he's trying to do. Obviously, the field goal percentage isn't very good, but you know, is what it is. They are starting him over DeAndre Hunter at this point. DeAndre Hunter's clearly playing better, so I don't know. The Hawks gotta clean their shit up, man. I don't know. Bring him back off the bench. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Dalton Connect obviously was absolutely hooping at points this last week too. So it's good to see a couple rookies like really starting to kind of put some shit together. That's awesome. Like, stupid efficient right now. We love to see it. He's a positive for the team. JJ Redick's doing a great job managing him and everything. I just hope they don't try to lean on him too much. I think he's going to be a nice quality player for them. And I mean, I know Reeves is the one that's scoring like 17, 18 points a game right now, but Connect's the one that's efficient. So maybe start to swap some of the minutes a little bit more. I know Reeves can handle the ball a little bit more, but still, obviously Zach Edey's down right now. I've seen a lot of people saying Stephon Castle for Rookie of the Year, and I don't understand it. Like, I like Stephon Castle. I think he's going to be a quality player for them at some point, but like, look, nobody else on the team is scoring. So yes, he's getting 10 points, and that's cool for a rookie, right? But I mean, his efficiency is garbage. He turns the ball over a lot. Like, it's not him. It's not him. It's McCain, Wells, and Connect. Those are the three guys running away with it right now, and it's not even close to anybody else. It's just not. Then we have the Wizards trio of Bub Carrington, Alex Sarr, Keyshawn George. Carrington's trying to be efficient. The rest of them, it doesn't feel like it. The Wizards are a mess. I'm so sorry, Wizards fan. Tristan Da Silva, he's been starting for the Magic. He doesn't look out of place ever, which is a good thing to say about a rookie, right? The numbers still aren't very good, but I'll at least take what I can get out of him right now, so there you go. Kyle Filipowski starts for some reason. Can't figure out what the Jazz are trying to accomplish. He's still kind of a wimp out there. I'm going to be real with you. Like, it just kind of annoys me a little bit, and I don't know. I don't understand exactly what they're trying to do, but I mean, there are other rookies in Cody Williams here not playing very well. This was to be expected. I didn't think it'd be this bad, but it's not good. And then we got Isaiah Collier, 6% from three. 6% from three. I know there were a couple comments this summer of people being like, you guys just wait, Isaiah Collier is going to be the best player of this class. Nope. No, he's not. No, he's not. And look, anybody, you guys always know, I believe anybody can get better. They can develop and stuff like that. Collier's not that dude. I don't think he's going to be that guy. But regardless, that's what it is. Jazz rookies. Yves Missy, he gets to play a lot. That's great. He's slowly turning into my Clint Capella hope of 7 points, 7 rebounds, shooting well from the field. He doesn't do a ton else. We didn't expect a ton else out of him, so is what it is. Ryan Dunn's kind of starting to fall off a little bit, but again, people started putting a little more pressure on him with KD and Beal out, and there's just not a ton of other help on this team, so not surprised there. Donovan Clingan had the stat sheet of the week this week when he had a game last night of 0 points, like 1 assist. I think he had 4 blocks and he had 19 rebounds. Amazing from Donovan Clingan. I'm glad they actually have been starting him. I know Ayton's been out. I think they should just start Donovan Clingan. He's starting to show some more aggressiveness and stuff like that. Seems like he's starting to figure things out. I think he's the longer term option at center. You guys remember I was pretty big on Clingan coming in. I think I had him as number 3 on my list. So I had Reese Shea 1, Sarr 2, I had Clingan 3. Obviously, I didn't think Jalen Wells was going to be that good. I didn't think McCain would be this good. I thought Connect would be solid. I don't know. It's been a weird rookie season, to say the least. If we can go and just take a look at some of the other rookies quick that aren't appearing on this list. Reed Shepherd, sometimes the threes are falling, sometimes they're not. It feels like every other night he has like a 60% night and then like a 20% night. Defensively, he's really good off ball defensively, and we knew that. We knew that would be good going in. On ball, he is atrocious, and I hope that we can continue to develop that. He's just too small. He's too small, and he can't play the point guard. He's not a good enough ball handler. It's nice on offense when I see him running around the screens and everything and hitting some of those shots. Awesome stuff. It's just, he's not going to, I don't think I can get him on the court for the playoffs, man. I don't know. I don't think it can happen. Ron Holland has fallen out of this completely. He's not one of the top 15 leading scorers in this, and his efficiency is in the garbage. This pick pisses me off by the Pistons so much. It just really, really does. Look, Ron Holland was going to be a project regardless. You're giving him no chance by him being on the Pistons. So unfortunate here. Tajon Salon hasn't gotten a ton of burn yet this season, but with Grant Williams going down, I hope they give him the chance. I think this kid's got a ton of potential. I think more potential than anyone else in this draft. So hope to see him get on the court a little bit more. Let's go over to Dillingham, who's kind of found his way into the rotation as of like the last couple days with Mike Conley being down. And I'm going to talk about Terrence Shannon Jr. in a second because he's just going to go and score 40 points in the G League every single night because the Timberwolves can't figure out that they need another scorer and they have one right there, and it's just pissing me off. I don't think Dillingham should be getting the minutes. I think it should be Terrence Shannon, but they clearly know something that maybe I don't. I don't know. I just feel like he should be on the court. But anyway, Dillingham, he's got a while to go, right? He's a young point guard. It's going to take him a minute. He's in the right place. It's just going to take some time. So I'm willing to be patient with it. We talked about Cody Williams. It's not good. He doesn't look very good at all, if I'm being honest. Matas Buzelis from my Chicago Bulls. He's been brought back up from the G League. He's been playing solid. As of late, the defensive instincts are looking really good, and I like the energy that he's playing with overall. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see him creep into this list eventually. I don't know why the Bulls aren't starting him at this point, too. I'd move Dosunmu back to the bench. Like, Dosunmu's playing great. The Bulls play their best 5 guys every single night in the starting 5, which means Zach LaVine plays the power forward. But, I don't know. I'd just move him into the starting lineup at this point. I just think you need a little more size out there every single night, if nothing else. Other guys, like Kello Ware's not really doing anything. Like, Jacoby Walter doesn't really do anything, right? We go through some of these other guys. I'm just looking through here. I just don't see it. Like, Terrence Shannon Jr., I want to get him on the court, man. I really, really do. I really, really do. But anyway, Jared McCain is running away with Rookie of the Year right now. So I guess we'll see. Dude called his shot, and I love the TikToks he puts out afterwards, man. I'm not going to lie. It makes me laugh. So anyway, let's move on to Cup standings. We can take a look at the groups right here for the NBA Cup standings. The Magic and the Knicks winning in Group A right now. The Magic have an advantage because of like the point differential or whatever, so good for them. The Milwaukee Bucks and the Detroit Pistons, both 2-0 in theirs. In Group C, my Bulls don't look like they're going to get in, but the Hawks and Celtics ahead in this one. We go over to West Group A. Teams like the Houston Rockets doing well, right? We got the Lakers doing well again. The Warriors have already clinched that they're going through, which is awesome. The Pelicans are already out. So let's go take a look at the actual like wild card and everything. So Magic, number 1 seed for the Cup right now in the Eastern Conference, followed by the Milwaukee Bucks, Atlanta Hawks, and the New York Knicks. This would be an interesting Cup. Like, who do we see coming out of them? The Bucks are starting to play a lot better basketball, in part because Gary Trent's starting to hit his shots now a little bit, right? Torian Prince has been quality for them. So I'll be curious. I'll be really curious to see about that. I kind of just don't believe in the Atlanta Hawks. They actually have a negative point differential, and they're in. That's really interesting, actually. that's kind of cool. The Knicks obviously could beat anybody at any given night, but Orlando, we'll see what they do with that one. Let's go over to the West. Obviously, the Warriors have already clinched. They're 3-0 in it. The Houston Rockets, who have been playing pretty good basketball as of late, are there. The Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks are there, which is interesting to see. I mean, you go all the way down to like some of these, like the Nuggets, like they're a good basketball team, but they don't find themselves very high here. I mean, we can go over to the East as well. Teams like the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are technically have the best record in the NBA, they're not falling into this. The Thunder are getting close. So I don't know. I'd like to see a team like the Thunder in the Cup or something like that. Or I don't know. I'd love to see the Pistons get in. Like I want to see the bad teams kind of win this somehow. I think it'd be cool. But anyway, let's move on to the standings. General standings in the NBA: Cavaliers and running the East right now with the Celtics. Magic not far behind, which is awesome to see. We're starting to see at least a couple teams in the win column now. Like the Knicks are starting to do it a little bit more. The Bucks have recovered. They've won 4 in a row. They've climbed all the way back up. They're the 5 seed now. That's awesome, right? The Miami Heat followed behind. The Bulls are back in the 8 seed. I can't handle another 8 seed season, man. I just can't. The Pistons are lingering. Good for the Pistons, man. How long did it take them to win 7 games last year? It took them so long. The Nets are sticking around. Hornets, meh. Pacers just look bad right now. Like if I can just go over to Tyrese Halliburton for a second, I don't know what is going on with him. There's rumors that there's some back problems or something, but he doesn't look decisive. He doesn't look aggressive. Like, I don't know, man. It looks rough for the Pacers right now. And that's a team that hates losing. They do not like losing basketball games. So curious to see what they do there. Raptors can't stay healthy. Sixers suck. They're just not very good. Their players are all hurt. And the Wizards, and now they're wanting to trade Kuzma again. This is what I'm saying. This franchise has no idea what it's doing. They're like, we're going to keep Kyle Kuzma because he said he wants to be around. Who gives a shit what Kuzma says? He's the reason you're losing so much. He's like, oh, you just don't want to be that guy, right? Look at y'all. Y'all are the worst. Y'all are the absolute worst. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Warriors, they're back on top. Tied with the Thunder, though, so kind of crazy there. The Rockets, surprisingly, all the way up at 3. The young guns, man, making it happen. Good to see. Lakers behind JJ Redick, been pretty good. Nuggets, Clippers, right? Waiting for the Clippers to fall off a little bit. Then we got the Grizzlies. The Suns are trying to stay afloat. They've lost 5 in a row, came all the way down from the 1 seed without Durant and Beal. It's been a struggle. The Mavericks are starting to put some wins together, which is awesome because, like, their record was not very reflective of how good they've been this season. They've been in a ton of close ones with good teams, so hopefully it comes back around. Timberwolves is just trying to hang on right now. The Julius Randle thing just doesn't make any sense to me right now. I know it's a good long-term play for them in theory, but you guys know my opinion on it. I didn't think they should have done it. So that's just me. And you have some expected teams down here, and like the Jazz, the Pelicans are the most injured team of all time. Trailblazers down here, who even they have like snuck out a couple sneaky wins here and there, but the Blazers don't know who to play ever, and who they play on the court at the same time makes no sense, so they're not going anywhere either, in my opinion. But yeah, that's what happened last week in the NBA. I know this is kind of a whole thing that's just kind of thrown at you guys. It's a lot at all times, but I want to keep you guys updated. It's a good recap of everything. Keep us fresh, keep us in perspective throughout the rest of the season. But hey, leave me those comments down below. I want to hear from you guys, and I appreciate it as always. Thanks so much. Bunch of fun content coming this week. Bye.